There's a 30-second delay, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YouTube, because we're live, and it shows we're live.
We are live. Okay, I need the link so that somebody can paste it.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oops.
Can you just send it to me on the chat?
I'm just going to mute my...
I'm on a different computer.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
All right, so today we have... we're going to be talking about the FSD Beta, obviously, because we have someone here who actually has it.
Yeah.
And then we have someone here who begs for it daily on Twitter.
I can just roll on the floor if you want to. I can just do that.
We don't know who's who. We're not going to point out exactly who's who, but...
Okay. Hold on. I'm sending... All right. All right. I think we are good.
And at any point in time when you had enough of like my questions, feel free to just be like, yeah, okay, that's enough, okay?
It's only the four of us watching anyways. Nobody else. But, okay, there's Mark. Mark's coming.
What's up, Mark?
Okay, we are live. All right, welcome to the third episode of the ByteofWhy channel. I'm joined by my Australian buddy, Tesla and the Gong, Nash.
Hello, guys. Thank you very much for doing this. We really, really appreciate this, really.
Yep. And we're joined by two special guests on the episode today. We have Kristen.
Hey.
And we have an FSD Beta campaign manager all the way from Toronto, Canada.
Hey, how's it going?
Motherfrunker's in the house. All right. We're going to start the episode just after this. All right. Today is round 2 of a very, very hot topic, full self-driving beta. And we are pleased to be joined by Kristen, who actually has the latest and greatest version of this software in her vehicle. Thank you so much, K10, for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we have the one person on the planet who wants it most outside. I can't stop laughing. All right. So the way the podcast is structured today, we're going to introduce our vehicles, vehicles we drive, and we're just going to go case by case by case, and we're going to try to tackle 29 different unique cases in the next 40 minutes. All right. I apologize to the viewers. This technical stuff we were just taking care of. But let's do this. I'm just going to share my screen here. All right. Can everybody see this?
Yep. All good.
Awesome. Oops. I think it just... Okay. There you go.
All good.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. Here we go. So, Kristen, can you just give us a brief intro to your vehicle and how you like driving it?
Yeah, so my car is, as you can see, I mean, it's a black and white image, but it's actually a black Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive, which, I mean, you can't get those anymore. It's got great, I mean, the mileage on it is great then. But, so yeah, I got it back in like April 2019, is that right? Yeah, 2019. I almost got ready with a white interior. And I love it. It's amazing. I mean, I never had to visit a gas station again. But there's so much other things I love about it, obviously. So.
Awesome. I really like the inspiration for the name. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of it.
Yeah,
really good name.
Thank you. When you look at the Model 3s, they actually look kind of like the from the movie To Train Your Dragon, Toothless, the character, his eyes and his mouth, it actually looks very similar. So
Oh yeah, now that you mentioned,
Kind of-
yeah, that's true. It does look kind of like that, yeah.
kind of like a
Awesome.
leopard gecko. They kind of have a similar face, but yeah.
Awesome. Let's move on. Mr. Motherfrunker.
So this is the long range rear wheel drive, May of 2018, I want to say. So my VIN's extremely low. It is called Motherfrunker because I have a really good sense of humor. And we'll keep this PG. So yeah, that's all I got to say about this.
Absolutely.
How many kilometers have you driven so far?
60,000. I haven't really
Wow.
driven in the last, I don't know, 6-7 months too much. So
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cool. So you're not yet at the warranty lapse
not
mileage
yet.
Not
I have a few things I want them to look at too. So kind of like bulking it all up and
Okay.
Nice.
one final check through before I pass the threshold, right? So
Yeah.
my original plan was to go out to California this past summer on a road trip, obviously, which didn't happen. So I would have been over my kilometers this past summer, but obviously, yeah, I'm still under. So
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Cool. We have Nash in the house.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Nash, can you give us a brief intro into all the
That's
vehicles?
yeah, his and hers, Superman and Wonder Woman, the best comic pair ever. And the Model 3 is called Tesla Gong 1. That is a car which I don't drive. It's exclusively for renting out so that people try before they buy a Model 3. That is right now in Canberra, but 2 hours drive from here. So these are my cars.
Awesome. And this is yours truly, my 2020 Model Y. I went from a 2019 Model 3 SR Plus and traded it in for the Model Y because I just couldn't resist. And it just made sense for our family. We were just finding the Model 3 just a little too cramped for what we had to use. The name is, as the Japanese would call it, Dynamis, from the Gundam anime. The reason is a Gundam is basically a suit of armor that you wear, and you have a pilot that operates that suit of armor. And this particular Gundam has a little AI machine called Haro that basically protects the operator from all external attack. So it just felt that the car plus autopilot, kind of me and autopilot were doing the same thing. I don't know. It's just my imagination, but I stuck with the name. So yeah, it's a long-range dual-motor all-wheel drive. I've driven about 10,300 kilometers on it in about 3 months of ownership, and I love it. And zero regrets trading in the Model 3 to the Model Y. What a vehicle. Anyway.
We are really hoping that that car comes to our shows very soon. We don't have a Model Y. In fact, we don't even have a Model Y reservation or order page open yet. So it looks like they're waiting for Q4. Q4 from rumors from the grapevines is fantastic for Australia. We have a lot of Model 3s, the new Model 3s coming up. And I have one in order as well, not for myself, but for the company. But I'm hoping that the company lets me drive it. Fingers crossed on that one. But then I'll just strong arm them into it. I'm quitting if you don't let me drive.
Yeah.
I hope they're not watching. Anyways.
I hope they are watching.
Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah, but
All
so Q4 is going to be fantastic for Australia because there are lots and lots of cars. I was stuck because we have some port issues here in Sydney, and most of the cars coming to Sydney. So they're all stuck in port, but we should be Q3 as well. We gave a good push with Q3. We had a lot of deliveries in Q3. There were days when they delivered 100 cars, which is massive for Australian standards.
Wow.
Just from Sydney alone, just from one one showroom delivery center in Sydney. So this Q4 is going to be good too.
I'm super excited for Tesla Gong too, man. Like when that vehicle comes, we definitely have to do some comparison videos, and everybody's going to want to know whether they need to upgrade from their existing Model 3s to the new Model 3s. And
absolutely, I'll do a live. Definitely, I'll do a live. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, cool. It is 4:20 p.m. Mountain Time, so we're gonna get on to FSD Beta. All right. So, Kristen, you were lucky enough to get the update last night, and that is awesome. And I kept looking at my phone for the next 45 minutes, hoping. But anyway, so the plan is in the next 30 minutes, we're going to do 29 or 30 use cases, okay? We're going to try because our first 2 episodes were way past the amount of time that we were supposed to take. So we're going to try. All right.
I have to get off as well because we have Phantom Lane 4 immediately after. And
Nice.
and I see Tesla Australia from Phantom Lane 4 in the chat. So he's probably going to he's probably here because he wants to keep track of me. He's like, Nash, get off.
That's hilarious.
All right. Cool.
I'm just trolling the chat a little. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go one by one, and we're going to talk about different things that we've seen from the previous update that came out last week that we were talking to Mark and Glenn about versus what you saw from your experience, Kristen, obviously through the week, what you saw last night. And and some of them, I mean, obviously Twitter's been full of people sharing their the different changes that have come, but we'd like your perspective on what you think about the aesthetics and on this particular topic.
So the UI in particular.
Yeah, the UI. What do you think? Going from being the FSD beta tester from the beginning to now, are the UI changes driver friendly? Are they driverless friendly? Are they catered towards a full self-driving future? You can look at different things, reorganized, more space on the screen. Is that something that the user base is going to appreciate, not appreciate? What are your thoughts?
So the first iteration, which, as we know, this is a beta, so everything is just kind of in testing phase. Nothing's permanent. We don't know if this will say itself, but the first UI that they put out, like with the last software update, I didn't care for that one per se because the driving steering wheel, the autopilot steering wheel, was much too small, and it was pretty squished. But now it's different, as you see from last night. It's very different, actually. And I do like this screen. I need to drive around with a little bit more and just see how intuitive it is. Because, I mean, honestly, right, when you're driving, you don't want to have to read the screen and try to interpret what's going on. But so far, I do like it. I think it's very user-friendly. And it'll probably change again, but I do like it so far. So
nice.
It looks more refined, isn't it? It looks more refined. It's like it's not prime time yet, but it's definitely much better than what it was. And I really love the way they've done this up this time around. And did you? I mean, I'm sure you guys noticed this, but they were mindful that it looks good both on the landscape and portrait orientation. The way they've done the icon arrangements and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Good.
Yeah. For the Model X or the S compared to the Y and the 3.
So it's pretty cool. They're trying to make it screen orientation agnostic, which sort of makes me a little sad because I think the S and X refresh may not come very soon. I'm like a little bummed about that. Love to have a landscape orientation on the S and X as well, but portrait is fine.
Yeah.
You test drove not test drove, but you're in the Cybertruck. How close is the new UI to that?
Yes. Oh well.
Because
go ahead.
It's getting pretty close. It's not identical, but go ahead. Sorry.
No, I think you are right. I think it does look a lot more. I want to pull up the pictures. I don't know if you have them on hand right here in the slide, but I do want to pull up the pictures and look at them. I think there's about 3 good snapshots of the UI from the Cybertruck that are floating around, and it does look a lot more like it. It's interesting to think that if they're actually, I mean, this is just speculating, are they playing around with the UI, or are they just kind of playing around giving us things and they already have a direction they're going? So I assume that maybe they're testing it, but maybe there is already a decided path of where the UI is going to go in the end. So it does look a lot like Cybertruck, more than it did before. So I said this whole screen.
companies are big on A/B testing, right? So it's probably something along those lines. Is what I'm
Oh,
guessing.
that's true.
Is
And
this
we know
what-
Tesla is a massive A/B testing group, isn't it? They always. I mean, we have gotten so many A/B softwares released even here in Australia. I'm sure you guys have had that as well. So yeah, probably true.
Is
What
this
you're-
how your
Yeah.
map looks right now? Oh, I'm sorry. I opened a new tab. Sorry, there's a specific tab that I wanted to share.
What's your thoughts on the map though on the far right? Like, I kind of like the map. I guess when the car's driving, it's slightly different, and eventually the map could be gone altogether, right? But I don't know. I feel like the car takes up too much real estate now. Like the graphical interface.
So the map right here that we're looking at, the Cybertruck one.
Well, no, sorry. Like the UI that you have currently, not the Cybertruck one.
Oh, what do I think about the map itself, the far right
Yeah.
the navigation one? I mean, I like it. I think people that are riding as passengers actually like it more. Like they enjoy looking at it as we're driving. I don't have a strong preference for it either way. But what did you state your preference was?
No, I'm just saying that the map's too far to the right of the screen now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be a problem. I mean, there's only so much glancing to the far right you want to do before you feel like it's a safety problem. But.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I guess if the car's driving itself eventually, you don't even need the map on the screen, right? So
Yeah. I mean, to some
Who
degree.
posted that snippet where they were saying that if you don't have the map up or something, the actual direction indicator comes on the left-hand side of the vertical strip?
I don't know.
Ah.
Somebody
I
posted
haven't
that.
seen
It was
Right, that's-
showing. I think that was Tesla Latino or somebody. It was showing on the upper left above the vehicle, above your visualization.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just showing you your next move that you're going to take because something was obstructing the main map.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds about. I mean, that would be very. That sounds about right. Yeah, probably him because he was the one that was focusing videos on the map today. Obviously, but,
we
yeah.
have Brandon in the chat. He said the UI is too smashed. They need to move the nav UI to the left-hand side since it's covering most of the map.
Interesting.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting, okay.
And
Yeah,
he
that's
said
a good
that they're testing us, especially in my case while driving. He's in the process of rendering a video. So
Nice.
Oh, cool. Awesome. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, everybody's. That's hot stuff right now. Everybody's talking about it and testing it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a bit about the UI. I'm sure we're going to see lots of things change over time, and hopefully, you know what, even non-FSD folks can also get some part of that UI. That the rendering of the car is just gorgeous. Like, I mean, no words describe how that just looks. Okay, so I'm just gonna list out all like the first 9 different things. Okay, and we've seen a lot of info on Twitter on people posting different things, but I've basically taken all the topics we dealt last week with Mark and his vicarious experience in the Model X.
John.
Excuse me. And basically ask you the same questions, Kristen. Can you see it clearly?
Okay.
Are you able to see?
It's super small. Mind you, everybody watching, I am on my cell phone, so.
Oh, okay. So why don't I
No,
just...
we'll read it to you.
we'll read it to you. Okay.
Okay,
So-
read it to me. That would be better.
Okay, so yeah. So basically we started off talking about residential areas. You know, you get out of your place and you turn on autopilot. You know, you go from a residential area, you go to downtown, then you visit an older part of downtown where the signs are not up to standard and stuff. And while you're getting there, you encounter different roundabouts. You may encounter hilly terrain as like cities on the West Coast. I've seen Seattle, I've seen Portland have all sorts of gradients. And basically, you have bikers and pedestrians going alongside you, not in lane, out of lane. You have cars parked on the side of the road. Just to summarize all the first 9 points into a single massive question, let's assume you're going to go from home and you're going to downtown, and you encounter all these scenarios, right? What have you observed about your? Let's start with your initial first data that you received, and let's talk about the one last night. I guess we obviously don't know how much driving you've managed to do all these use cases from last night's update, but in the weeks you've spent with the most recent one, I think it was the 40 dot something update that you got. What's the story?
So you want to know how well I see it going from home to this scenario, like
Yeah,
how much times I had
subjective.
disengaged and such.
Yeah, subjective. Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, it's hard to know on the engineer side what they're testing and what's going on with the software per se and what they've written in and little bug fixes overnight. 'Cause we do receive those besides the major software updates, but I've had to disengage at times where the software acts a little funky. So let's say getting out of my residential street and driving on out, it has been phenomenal in the small
wow.
areas.
Okay.
I have never had
awesome.
a problem in a small neighborhood so far. And heading to a major intersection, it usually does really well there. Not a major intersection, just a regular 2-lane intersection for everybody coming, like all directions. The stoplights are usually normal. Bigger intersections, ones that are really weird, where maybe your turn is not at a 90-degree angle. It could be like 120, or it could be like a 45-degree angle back. Those sometimes the wheel it goes a little bit slower. As far as driving by bikers, the car itself, I have never seen it not perform right. It has always been hyper vigilant in its activity, like moving away from the biker or slowing down.
Okay.
In the right space, so I haven't seen any problem with that. I've gone through some construction zones. It did really well in most of the construction zones at one point, and I think you'll see on Kim Paquette's FSD video she put out today that it paused behind a service truck, and then I'm assuming it looked to go and it went around it. I did have one incident where it paused at a construction site and it wanted to go around the construction site, which it shouldn't have done because it was going to go over a double yellow line. So, I mean, I think that's probably been repaired by now. But mind you, like, they do give us this software, and it's kind of it doesn't have everything that everybody else's software has. So, like, my car has a different programming than what other cars do. So you guys have, like, your voice commands are probably more advanced than ours right now because we're going back to driving with the visualization, not as much as the voice command. So
I see.
There's patches that are already, we know that they'll put right back in that'll fix some of this, but there's little marginal niches that they're trying to fix that they give us. Right. So yeah, but
they probably disabled a few packets, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's things that we probably aren't. Yeah, for sure that we're not. That we don't have full privy to anymore because we have a whole different beta system going on right now. So, but it's been doing really well. Portland is crazy. I mean, we don't have roundabouts per se as much as they do in Europe or I don't even know Australia, but I've found a few to intentionally test
we have lots. We have roundabouts, and then we have a little bit of road.
Yeah,
it's just 90% roundabouts. It's just roundabouts everywhere.
So I did try. I did test some of those. The Portland has a lot of one-way direction streets. They're quite interesting. Like, so, I mean, I'm not looking for the worst scenario to push the car onto per se, but
now let's say a drive of an hour. How many times have you had to take over? And how many times has it been because of the car behaving badly? And how many times because you are nervous that the car may behave badly? What is a rough percentage?
Yeah, like that is hard to say, right? Because I usually react fast in situations, so I tend to want to kinesthetically react by something I've spatially seen. So I have disengaged it where it probably would have been fine at times, but that's just a precaution on my part. How many times? It depends on what I'm driving. Like if I drive the interstate or highway, I never have to hardly ever disengage it unless I get actually tired of the speed that it's set at and I want to drive faster because I tend to want to drive faster.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, you could drive. I think when I first got beta FSD, I think literally the next day I took a 2-hour drive on the interstate and I didn't have to disengage it. Like it just it drove perfectly fine. So, but if I was in the city with all sorts of weird turns and stuff like that, like I probably would disengage it because I'm cautious 10 minutes. Because I'm just super hyper vigilant, but that's me. So, and it's not the beta FSDs per se that mean my natural reactions that have been programmed into me driving. So,
how often have you been getting updates? Have they been weekly, like he's mentioned? When I say he, obviously Elon.
All the updates that you currently see that are out there, I mean, I think it's like weekly to week and a half. Those are the ones that we get. What you see is what we know we get, but we do know that there's bug fixes, as always, with any of the FSD that are sent to all of our cars, or even the beta FSD testers that are minute. So I think Green only has shown a few of those, but yeah, that's all I know of. So I don't.
And you're not given a change log like, hey, it's going to do better roundabouts better now.
I mean, I haven't. No, not that I know of, but I mean, it is doing the roundabouts better. The roundabouts per se, it was doing fine with. The only problem that I had is I was doing a really small neighborhood roundabout. I don't even know if you would call it quite a roundabout. It's like sticking a roundabout in a normal intersection, like a little teeny neighborhood intersection.
I mean, that's exactly what we want to know, because we have a fair few of this. My estate has got like 30 or 40 roundabouts, exactly the same way that you described. They're small roundabouts. They're no taller than a height of a brick, to be honest. But they are roundabouts, and we want to know how the car would fare there, because that's one of our nemesis. We have loads and loads and loads of roundabouts, and we want the car to fare well. So that's very, very heartening to know.
Yeah,
I have a question. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. Once you're done.
No. The small roundabout itself, it will go through around the roundabout perfectly fine in timing and space and speed. But I was trying to get it to do a basically left-hand turn, but obviously you don't do a left-hand turn. You go around the route and then to the left.
That's true.
And your way might be roundabout. I mean, what other side of the road? But yeah, it kept on. It would get to the it would get to it, kind of pause, and then kind of yank the steering wheel like it wanted to go left, and then it would be like no, and then it would try to go around the roundabout, but it see, and this is also the weird thing. Like, not all roundabouts are actually the way they lay the concrete or the pavement is not the same either. Sometimes roundabouts have a slope. Yeah. Sometimes they have a hard curb, and the vehicle itself is trying to decide to what parameter it can drive up towards the roundabout, or how far away it needs to be on some of these really teeny roundabouts. So
I tried to ask that of Elon the other day as well. I asked him, what is the tolerance level if there's a parallel car, or if there's an obstacle, or if there's a stationary object, what is the tolerance limit? But he didn't answer. Obviously, it's proprietary.
Yeah. Is there any one area that you notice has to improve in? Like any one specific thing you think it does poorly currently?
One area that it needs more improvement. It's hard to know, because I mean, it's got like 10 eyes, all it is perceiving per se.
I have one question. This is regarding highway driving, and I was just wondering this on the other day when I was using autopilot. Based on the different color schemes on the screen, are you able to discern if autopilot is able to detect the actual turn signal that the car in front is activating? Because here's the scenario. So I'm following another vehicle. Okay, I've got a car on this lane. It's trying to get in between me. Okay, in between me and the car in the front. So I have enough of a gap that I've set a 1-car gap between myself and the autopilot system, right? So my car's trying to accelerate up, and this guy's trying to merge in because he needs to get out of the lane he's in for some reason. But autopilot's not braking. It's trying to accelerate. It's like it's not even aware that this guy wants to get in. Like, it's aware that the car gets in once it starts breaking the line and starts getting in, then it'll brake. But as a human, you're looking at the guy in front of you. He wants to swerve and merge one lane, so you automatically slow down because the guy is obviously going to try to do that maneuver. So my question was, man, if only autopilot could read that left turn detector itself, in addition to the vehicle. It's detecting the vehicle, but not the signal itself. If it was able to read that, like light strobing kind of thing, it would slow down instantly and act more human.
That's a great question, because I think I'm just going to add context to this. I think we have slow down, move over, recognize. I think he's trying to get that inbuilt into our car, so that if there is if there's a breakdown of some description in front, our cars will signal to the cars behind to sort of slow down, so that we don't injure people who are trying to help people who are stuck in traffic, or who had some medical issue of some description. This will be very nice. So it's sort of a context to that.
Yeah. Well, we know that it recognizes stoplights, so we know that it can recognize lights. It does run off radar. I mean, it's not LiDAR per se. I mean, I don't know if it is exactly. I mean, I guess I should perform more tests. I know that on the screen we can see it showing a blinker on the UI.
For the
I mean,
Mark
car up
online,
ahead.
simplified the
not all the other vehicles.
Mark simplified the question.
Yes,
He said,
I
"Is it
understand.
basically considerate to other drivers?" Would you say yes or no?
Is it considerate of other drivers? I mean, that's like reading human motives. That's so hard. Like I mean, obviously it's gonna learn techniques for the way we drive, but I don't know. That's a hard one.
There better be like a filter, because where I drive, people aren't considerate. So if you let everyone in, you'll never go anywhere.
If you want to Sydney mode, please. Yeah.
It's
So
like
so
LA.
there'll be
You don't tell
so
people
there
that
has
you're
to be-
coming in. You let them. You just come in.
Like, I want something more than Mad Max.
Exactly. I want Sydney mode.
Yeah.
It's gotta be-
Okay.
That'll be
All right.
that'll be interesting when there's a whole fleet on an interstate that is all smart cars that run off like stuff like this. Because I imagine we perceive like they will communicate at some point with each other. So
That'd make life so much easier, though.
it
Like-
would be the flow of traffic.
Yeah. You wouldn't need lights. Your roads wouldn't have to be as wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we already upload road programs that tell us like where the bottlenecks are and how to like get around them. So I mean, the cars themselves are going to perceive that kind of stuff, I assume, at some point. So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I've got the next battery of questions that we're going to try to address here. So the most important ones among this, we're talking a lot of turns. Okay, we're talking U-turns, hairpins, complex ones. We're talking also on the highway. We're trying to see merging. I mean, when you're passing a highway where you have a ramp that's trying to merge in, and also a ramp that's going out, like an off ramp.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so because let's start with that, because that's one video that I'd made on my channel where it seems to be a weird thing that keeps happening with me. I don't know why. Is every time that the car, if I'm on the rightmost lane and it detects an exit that's branching off from the main highway, it slows down like 6 miles an hour. It slows down by 6 miles an hour and then accelerates up again. And it seems to do this on if there's a 4-lane highway, if I'm on the rightmost lane and the slowest and the next faster one. It doesn't do it if I'm on the fastest and the middle lane. So, and I see that consistently, and it's annoying. Like, it's just, and I'm trying to see if I can figure out what's the exact set of factors and parameters that makes it happen. Is it turn on navigate on autopilot? Does it happen if it's just normal autopilot just on? Because it can slow down when you least expect it. And I had one of those gut lurching slowing downs, like just by 10 kilometers an hour. Like I could almost call it a phantom brake, plus a slowdown for an exit ramp kind of thing. So what do you see? Does this happen at all in FSD Beta?
So yeah, it is randomly like a blinking flashing yellow. It will start to slow down, which is
oh my god,
which is really annoying because it's more like it's like a 6-lane interstate, and all of a sudden there's just a random road that wants to cross the highway. So there's a blinking yellow to let you know that people randomly dart this off road through the interstate. Like, be cautious. So it did slow down a little bit. I think by anywhere from like 5 to 10 miles, which was a little bit of a nuisance. But I was in the far right lane too, like you were.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine driving in places like LA, like the lanes are so. I mean, there's so many like lanes, and you're often in the far right, and you always have to get ready to fork, and then fork again, and then fork more. Like, that would be seriously annoying. But I need to test that. I haven't tested it enough, but I imagine that would change. But that is annoying, and I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what alerts it to want to slow down. Like, that is a good question. What is your theory?
We have a couple of these. We have a couple of these yellow light scenarios. So we have a yellow light warning which says that there is going to be a stoplight ahead. So that is one yellow light. The other one is we have multiple lanes, and depending on the time of day, there are yellow lights marking which lanes are in use for the ongoing traffic and which lanes are for the traffic on the other side. Sometimes there'll be 3 lanes with the lights, and they are always flashing yellow lights. And this happens very often on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And invariably, FSD considers them as traffic lights, and it tries to slow down or stop.
Same thing here. I mean, Yeah, like at least in Calgary, where I'm based out of, same thing. Like we have these preemptive, I call them preemptive signals, where they tell you the status of an upcoming light, whether it's going to change, and it just goes bonkers. It slows down, and it's a blinking yellow, so it detects it as a yellow traffic light on the visualization, and it just stops.
Yeah.
And it's, oh my god, it does it for every single one. And another one is also because we have like an over the ground. So we call it the C train, basically a shuttle system. That's also got these traffic lights on the side for those gates to open and close for the train tracks. And it detects that changing, and it also tries to slow down. And the rest of the highway is going at 70 miles an hour.
That's scary.
The real reason, Mark shared the real reason why it happens. It's just trying to show off the acceleration to other drivers.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
because it can, right? Like the cars are. We can go from nothing to so fast. That's so fun. I think one thing we have to consider is like, this might sound a little bit pretentious, but I think the majority of Tesla drivers are very assertive drivers, and they're very spatially inclined, and like, human nature and our motives is to often go 10 over the speed limit and actually find those marginal errors or areas where we can like bypass things like not in a bad way that it would harm anybody, but the autopilot system safety is not meant to do that. It's meant to keep the safeties in there for the general public. And we know that there's a lot of people who just camp in the right lane all their life, and they feel safe there. And I think right now Tesla autopilot is, for the general public, that is what it should be doing. I don't think learn to drive as aggressively and find those little areas that it can like cut corners. So yeah.
I love that they added that whole "don't leave the passing lane." Because
that is really good.
Where I live, we don't use a passing lane. That's just a regular driving lane. So before that, I know it's not supposed to be that way, but it's just how it is. So if before that feature, the car like ping pong back and forth. Now that they have it enabled, it's great. Like the actual car just stays in the far left lane and it's not ping ponging everywhere. So it's like such a huge improvement.
Yeah, I think just imagine in the future we might have the option of selecting the type of driver we are, like aggressive race car driver. When you select it, grandma driver, you select it, mom with kids or parent with kids driver.
I
want a Han Solo mode, please. Just click on it.
Yeah.
Or like basically like how are you feeling today? Like how are you feeling today? Are you feeling chill? So it'll basically put a chill ghost. It'll put a chill ghost and evaluate how you're driving against the chill ghost. And are you feeling tracky? It'll put a tracky ghost.
You know what will be awesome? It'll be awesome if there's an icon which says you can just tap on it, say 2 coffees, 3 coffees, 4 coffees. If you had 2 coffees, you drive like this. If you had 4 coffees, you're gonna drive.
Oh man,
that'd be awesome.
In the chat, they're saying a way of waking up the driver is to slow down and then speed up to make sure you're paying attention. They'll call it the roller coaster effect.
The chat's been awesome today.
Everybody's actively participating.
The interior camera detects you're having a drink. That's when it starts speeding up.
That would be nice if they'd add, make the AI a little smart inside the vehicle to mess with you.
Okay. I mean, the seat could vibrate. Maybe you could add like a little system where it squirted you with water, like on the side of the face or something.
That'd be nice.
This is why we don't have a API yet for this reason.
Oh, I'm sure Motherfrunker would be on it. He'd be on it, trying to squirt water from the side and trying to.
Oh, the minute they have an API, that's like I'll start developing apps like full time for the car. So
awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Nice.
Sweet. Okay. Let's just quickly run through a couple of use cases. So, U-turns and hairpins. Have you had any of those use cases show up in your drives?
My car hasn't attempted to do U-turns yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, have you tried to put in a location and then put in a location in the opposite direction to see what it does?
Put in location and then put it in the opposite direction? Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. No, I should try that, though. But I have had the navigation itself on the screen tell me to actually drive somewhere where I would have to take a U-turn. Not this FSD Beta, but in the past. So that is interesting. And someone else was posting that the normal direction that would take you somewhere Actually, this was just in the chat that it should have gone a shorter route, but it took it a longer route. And I've seen that do it a few times. It's been taking me on longer routes than it. Not sure why, but safety ways. I don't know.
It wants you to be in the Tesla longer.
Yeah, you're not testing beta long enough.
Brandon's this one is really good. Student driver, average driver, race driver. Yeah,
Drunk driver.
Drunk driver.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
But it's got some potential benefits as well. So if I'm going to hand over my Model 3 to my daughter, who will probably get who'll start driving very soon, I want to put her into a student driver mode and that she can't exit out of. So she just can't go out of the and that'll probably get more points with the RMS, I mean road and maritime services here. So that'd be nice if you put them into student mode where they'll be. So we have something called P plater with a red P plater and a green P plater and a L first and then P, and then we have others coming up. So we can always put them into those particular designated categories where they just can't drive. So if you need to have a second certified driver in the passenger seat to take the car for a particular board color, if the P plater gets inside, the car just wouldn't start at all. They say call your daddy.
I've seen.
That would be cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
that'll be really cool.
That'd be super safe. So
I've seen the OEMs. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! Is there actually external markings in the car if it's a student driver? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They have boards outside. Red P plate, a green P plate, and yellow L plates and stuff like that. So if they have that, they don't even have to have that. The license will define it. So when they get inside, if there is biometric recognition, that's even better.
Key card.
But then key card even better. So
the biometric key card. That's it.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. That will be amazing. So the parent or the RMS can program their key card and the phone to that license plate. So if it's L, they just can't take the car without a certified licensed driver in the passenger seat. That'll be amazing. So much safer.
Two things I can think of that kind of combine this. It's like a Facebook Messenger Kids version.
You love me on Facebook.
And also like if you see the regular OEMs, actually a version of this is there in rental cars. It's called teen mode, where basically they don't allow you to go over a certain maximum speed, and the vehicle's basically geofenced, so they know if you try to take it out of a particular area and stuff. And it's very popular now.
Let's tweet Storm Elon.
Oh yeah.
Noah left a really good comment in the chat, by the way. He said when you enable FSD, you put your route, and it's going to finish your movie when you get there at your destination. So the car will take you a longer path. So your movie ends right when you hit the destination. So they're together.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
That's a great way actually to tell children how long they're going to be getting to a destination in movie length, like half a movie.
Yeah, are we there? Yeah, we can't
actually
feel are we there yet anymore.
It should pop up on the screen like, here's your selection of shows of what you're able to watch, so the show ends at the same time of when you arrive. Like, this is what you're allowed to watch, so it corresponds.
So we just appease the drivers. Like, it's one big appeasement.
I've got awesome. 2 questions. I've got 2 questions for you, Kristen, on what your confidence level is for FSD today with the latest update to be able to navigate this kind of interchange, okay? 1. This is called a diverging diamond. There are 112 of these in the US. And you basically have to go on the wrong side of the road to get back on the right side of the road. Okay. It forces you to, let's see if I can get a better photo here.
I think these are in Phoenix. These are weird intersections.
You haven't seen the weird one yet. We'll show you the one.
Oh, yeah. So this is one style that I just wanted to alert you off. If you know, like, anywhere next to your place, like you have this kind of weird intersection, it'd be nice to put the FSD beta through a test like this and see how it comes out. The other one is called it's called a Melbourne hook turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's crazy.
To go
even we get it wrong most of the time.
So the Melbourne hook turn, you have to go right. You need to go left. You need to be on the leftmost lane, which is like the outermost lane. It's counterintuitive.
And the second row photograph is the one which shows it best. So there's a small little space for just that one car to stand. Right there, yeah. The car can go and stand right there and wait for the signal for the right turn to come through, and then they can turn right. So cars which are going straight will keep going straight. The car which is trying to turn right will just have to wait there. It's called the Melburnian hook turn. It's an absolutely crazy turn. I wonder if the car will get that completely. Will go bonkers when it sees this.
I mean, this kind of shows, right? Like it shows that in order to go
Edge
into
case.
this lane, you need to like go here, wait, and then turn right, which is crazy.
Yes.
So the car that's wanting to turn, they have the right of way, right? Like the flow of traffic is going vertical, like.
In this case, not. So in this case, the car which is trying to turn right does not have the right of way. It has to go and wait in that little cubicle there. Wait for the right turn to come. So this picture shows it perfectly. So the right turn is still red. So the car has to just go and just stop there and wait. The car which is going straight will keep going straight. The guys which are turning left will just keep turning left. But the car which wants to turn right will have to wait for that red signal to change. And it's called the hook turn. It is unique to Melbourne. I'm not sure if anybody in any other city has it. It's quite unique to Melbourne. It's pretty awesome.
And everyone just drives around him.
Yeah.
The guys who are turning left will keep turning left. The guys who are going straight will just keep going straight. And the guy who wants to turn right has to just wait. And
wow,
it's super cool. Yeah.
So I found myself in an intersection.
We get it wrong. We live here. We lived here all our lives, and we get it wrong when we go to Melbourne. We live south of Sydney. So when we go to Melbourne, we get it wrong sometimes. So.
Noah asked in the chat, does anyone know if the car will be able to understand signs that provide context at intersections, such as rights only at certain times of the day or signals that are specifically for a turning lane? So have you experienced anything where it's like left turn only between 5 and 7 or something?
Wow.
To this, can I also add this is the next battery of questions, the last round of questions that we have, compilation, school zones, where children are present when they're not present, and also during a certain time of a day, like school hours, time sensitive stuff. So because you see different speed limits based on different times of the day or night, and also whether people are present or not present. So that's an add-on to Noah's question. Noah, thank you for the question.
So to answer Noah's question first, like so far I've only seen it take the default mode, which is the most safety and precautions, which is the slowest speed. Like it goes in the right. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure at some point it'll be addressed. I haven't seen it read that per se. I mean, I don't drive through less. I mean, the school zones I go through, it slows down automatically to the safest precaution. But and is it ready yet? I think Elon said possibly more, wider release of it in December. We'll have to see where they're at. There's so many, like you're saying, you're bringing up so many different instances, and that hook itself, I found myself in an intersection where, I mean, that's possibly like I was supposed to take a green light and it's already gone to a red light, and I'm sitting there, the traffic's going around me, and I'm like, you try to make a turn, but you can't because the traffic's coming at you. But the hook is a crazy. Glad that's not everywhere. I don't know. Have you guys driven through school zones yourself? The autopilot you have right now, have you seen it obey any?
Yes,
it does not. It does not detect school zone signs here.
Oh, it does here.
Aaron wants to know: does it show any special tagging for police or emergency vehicles on visualization?
Oh, so everyone wants to know if the ambulance and the police car itself are marked different. I mean,
in addition to his question, if they're marked different, second, like there's a rule in Canada, if you're passing by an emergency vehicle, you have to slow down to 60 kilometers an hour if its lights are on. So I don't know if there's such a rule in the US, but in Canada, you have to slow down if you're, I mean, everybody does. The entire, like, it's like for an ambulance. Everybody just moves out of the way, right? Like, same thing.
Yeah.
Emergency vehicle, you slow down as a pack, and then you speed up again. So I don't know if the FSD Beta would have done similar things.
I don't know if I've come across an ambulance that's, I mean, yesterday there was 2 police cars that were screaming down the road, and I wasn't on beta FSD, but of course I pulled over. I had to at one point. It'd be good to know. I think we should postulate that question out there for everybody to answer who's been a beta FSD driver to see if it's done anything like with the ambulances or the police cars. But I imagine that there's, all these scenarios I know that they're working on, they have to have a folder somewhere like partitioned just for this stuff. But yeah,
We have
we
another important
Guys,
question.
sorry, just one moment. I'm going to sign out because I will go to the other podcast.
Yep.
Guys, thank you very much. Fantastic meeting you all here, and great questions. Everybody in the chat as well. Fantastic chat. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.
Nash,
Have a
thank you
great
so
day.
much. Appreciate it.
No
Take
worries.
care,
all.
Nash.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
We had an important question from Mark. K10, can you please tweet out hashtag FSD Beta Canada to help promote the learning of more complex use cases?
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do need it. Aren't you next?
Hey, I post one every day. I post once every day, and I tag Franklin in every single one of them. Like,
I mean,
you guys got Starlink beta first, so you can't complain. Like,
no, we don't actually have it yet. You guys have it
you
first.
don't? No, I
No.
thought they had some incidents in Canada with the.
Oh, that's it. She's out of time.
she dropped out. All right, we'll wait for her to join back.
No, we technically don't have.
There you
The
go.
US got early beta release first.
Yeah.
And then we were still waiting for approval.
No problem. No worries. No worries. Good to have you back.
You are right by saying that. I forgot that. It's just like, yeah.
We were still waiting approval.
No,
So
we
you
got
guys-
it. We got it.
No,
Yes.
we did, but the US received beta before.
Oh yeah.
We were waiting for approval. You guys got beta, and then it started spreading here. I think we're going to get more beta access in Canada for Starlink than
Yeah.
the US, but
Yeah.
But
I think the tribe that had gotten it was confusing to me because I wasn't sure if they were also Canadian and an American tribe. Like, or maybe they're
Well,
just an American.
I have a friend who registered to every single postal code across all of Canada for the Starlink beta, so you can see where it's spreading out.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Okay, I still have FSD beta questions though. If you guys both have about 10 minutes, just wrapping up here. Ramp meters. I know they have them in the US. I know that you have, I think I've seen something on Twitter. Somebody posts like you've got, based on the flow on the highway and how congested it is, they'll basically have those lights, right, on the off ramps. Have you encountered any of those, Kristen, where you stay?
Lights on the off ramp?
Yeah.
So you mean to exit the off ramp, or once I come?
Yes, you get onto the off ramp from a normal lane, and as you go, you'll see a traffic light show up about halfway through, like the exit ramp, and it'll be either green off or red or something. So and then it'll allow you to join the highway after a certain amount of time.
Obey those. It's been obeying those so far.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so I guess that's just like a traffic light situation for the FSD. I mean, it's no different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know everyone keeps on talking about a left-hand turn, but the first night that I got my beta FSD, I took my car out on the city, and there was no cars out, and I took a left-hand turn on a one-way street from a street that had it was not a one-way street; it was a two-way street, and it did really well. It turned onto the left hand without any problems. So.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So, so I guess I just have two more questions from my end. One is rain. Have you seen it? The wipers behave better? Because here it's pretty sketchy. Like the auto wipers don't work really. I'm not going to go and say that they work the best. They're the best in the business. They're still a work in progress at best. And sometimes they don't start the wiping actuation when they're supposed to. Sometimes they're on when there's no rain. Do you see any changes in the rain neural network, the deep rain stuff on the FSD beta when you're driving in rainy conditions?
So the wipers are so much better than they were the beginning of the year. I think Elon was tweeting out about it, or maybe it was last 2019. My wipers are performing perfectly where I'm at for the rain. And we get like the crazy rain where it's just like drizzling nonstop, or it's like, but it literally looks like buckets of rain, like someone is throwing buckets of rain on your car while you're driving and you can't see. But it's been doing really well with that. The only thing that I don't like, but this is a personal preference, is the heavy semis make deep ruts in the roads, and often the water, as normal we would understand, pools into the ruts, and the car itself wanted to center itself where the semi itself centers itself in the ruts where there's a lot of water. So just the hydroplaning issue was which did warn me before, like right before it happens. The hydroplaning is the only issue. I like to drive off the ruts, different than most people
Yeah.
up on the lip, but it doesn't center your car at all. So that was the only issue. But my windshield wipers seem to be doing really well. I mean, they were detecting really well for me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's a different issue. I wouldn't think it was per different areas like Canada, Europe, the windshield wipers. I don't think there's any kind of different.
I've seen, at least personally, whenever I come back home and it's like a heavy rainy day or a snowy day, I see a lot more data being sent back because I'm able to monitor the amount of bandwidth the car's using. It uploads a lot more. So it is definitely training some sort of neural network. It's way better, like you said, from the beginning to today. It's way, way better. But it's still got scope for progress. Quick question about the hydroplaning. Is it preemptive? Like, is it telling you that you have a possible chance of hydroplaning upcoming within X seconds kind of thing? Or does it tell you that, oh my God, you're hydroplaning?
It seemed like it was preemptive, but I think the car itself is picking up the traction on the tires better than a human can. I think it's feeling it, like the slight minute movements of I don't know if you call it fishtailing or just the hydroplaning of the back tires or something. I mean, it was picking it up right before I picked it up, and I was. I mean, but it's always on my mind anytime there's heavy rain. Will I hydroplane? Like, and so especially like if it's been like all summer and then all of a sudden we get a hot, rain, like a slip on the road. But
okay,
it seems preemptive to me. So
did you use Smart Summon before the beta? Like often?
Did I use what? Smart
Summon? Smart Summon.
Yeah, I have used it often. No, the summon itself, I find it's perfect for like cramped cases, like in parking garages, like to pull the car out.
I'm just curious. Have you noticed like a big increase of Smart Summon, like improvements?
To be honest with you, I have not really used Smart Summon since I got the beta FSD, and I don't know why. It was one of the main questions I had for people when they did get it, and I'm like, why did I do it? Like I think because there's so many other things I'm thinking of testing, I just jump in the car and go do it. So yeah, I think I'll try that all tomorrow a bunch of times to see how that is. So have you noticed any difference?
But to K10's credit, Smart Summon, I mean FSD Beta is like Smart Summon but at higher speeds. I mean,
oh my gosh, that's how you feel?
My friend and I, we were pretty positive we have the most Smart Summon kilometers traveled across the world. Yeah, we have to. We've noticed. I don't want to say Smart Summon learns because it definitely doesn't. But I feel like there's something within cars, because we've had a bunch of them in parking lots, where because you can tell the people who use it more often, the car's more confident than the ones who aren't. And I don't know the rhyme or reason. It's really strange, but we used it last week in a parking lot, actually in a park, just to summon the car around in circles. And there was like a 7-year-old lady running after the car. Oh my God, there's no driver.
Oh my gosh.
We got an insane video of her and a whole bunch of other people like freaking out, but super excited to see the increase or improvements of Smart Summon, right? Because I do use it all the time.
You need to put that in your title, in your bio.
What's that?
The most advanced like user of Smart Summon.
Well, I used to before. So my last big campaign was the Smart Summon Canada campaign, and I had to retire that. And we moved on to the FSD Beta Canada campaign. So. Smart Summon is learning Canadian. A. Franklin. No. Smart Summon is a mess. No, honestly, it's pretty good. I find the thing is you have to really trust it. So if you let go, it's obviously going to stop. So if it's in the middle of something, you're kind of like screwed. Just kind of let it do its thing and hold it down. Ideally, there's no other drivers around. It won't hit people. People, it's fine. Parked objects, it's fine. It's mostly other drivers that you have to worry about because they're unpredictable. But even them, like, I find most people, as soon as they notice that there's no person in the car, they're like, what? And then they're just like kind of let the car do its thing, right? So it's been pretty good.
People were taking it to Costco. I mean, let's just FSD Beta, FSD aside, Costco is probably one of the most chaotic parking lots I've seen. Like, people are darting nonstop everywhere in the cars, with their shopping carts, walking. So, like, that's a crazy
I've used FSD Beta at Costco.
Yeah, how does it do?
I have Smart Summon, sorry. I've used Smart Summon at Costco. Yeah. And it's fine. It works just fine. But again, you have to park. I park strategically so I can use it, right? Because I know, hey, it's going to be able to navigate this just fine because of how much I've used it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a regular car, you obviously. I mean, I just was at Costco last night. Like, I think parked for 5 minutes, for people that were darting nonstop in a car that couldn't decide if it wanted to turn. So,
See, the only
Yeah.
downside for us, the minute the temperature, we kind of narrowed it down to 6 degrees Celsius, our speed goes from 10 kilometers per hour down to 3 kilometers per hour just by temperature. So the minute the temperature drops, it drops drastically. So I don't know the rhyme or reason. I guess they can't detect ice. So it's their way of limiting the speed so it doesn't slide, right?
Yeah. Snain itself, do you guys call snow and rain snain? Or sleet?
Well,
sleet. I mean, sludge, sleet.
Okay, well, no. Well, sleet is when it comes down as, like, ice rain, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's
that
definitely
slush. Yeah,
definitely try it out. I'm kind of curious to see what you think, if there's any like changes or improvements.
Yeah. So I guess that leads us to the last question, at least from my side. Basically, can you give us on a scale of 0 to 100, based on your driving experience with the FSD Beta, can you give us a score out of 100 on what you think the likelihood of FSD Beta being able to navigate Canadian icy roads? I'm not talking about normal roads, because I know it'll do that like a champ, because it is already doing that like a champ. But the average road in Canada is going to be either like a full sheet of ice, non interstate highways kind of thing. The average by road is going to be a sheet of ice where slipping and sliding is so normal. The car needs to understand itself spatially and try to draw lines where there's no markers, there's no edges. The thing just slides off. The ice just slides off the side of the road. So, do you think, based on its edge detection, based on its object detection, on all those things combined, all the things we've spoken about, you think it's going? The first beta that Canada gets will be a pretty good one? You think?
I think the first beta it gets will be a good one. I think.
Just your thoughts. I mean, it's not to try to put you on the spot. It's just
no. I grew up driving in the snow and ice, so I understand it. And shoot, that's so just people know.
No, I'm laughing because of Mark's comment.
Oh! I didn't see it. Most and the other answer. Most people who have never driven in ice and snow, it is alarming, like their inability to perceive what's going to be happening next. Like I've warned people, I'm like, no, you do not pull over in a canyon when it's snowing like this. You don't do this. Like you do not ride on ice like this. So FSD Beta, I'm sure you guys will be your own little, in Canada, your own little pocket of extra new information they're feeding into the system because of all the ice and snow. But Norway, I mean, Norwegians have raved about Teslas and how well they do there, and they have snow and ice quite a lot too. So we know that they're doing well there. As far as ice itself is just unpredictable. Hitting black ice is just crazy. So I mean, I assume that I think with all its eyes and its ability to feel its weight and its adjustment will be a lot better than a human. But
they'll attach a flamethrower to the front. That's Aaron's comment.
We're getting a lot of these flamethrower-ish suggestions from the group here on the chat. They're pretty epic.
And my apologies for all the FSD Canada stuff. Like, I brought a lot of trolls to the chat here because of my comments.
Troll again.
FSD Beta Canada.
Awesome.
If you go to Twitter and you type in hashtag FSD, the Beta Canada will come up first before FSD Beta.
Oh, so you've worked the algorithms to make it the strongest.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
I basically came up with this just to summarize the show. All right.
Nice. That's hilarious.
All right.
Yay. How long do you guys think it'll be till you get FSD Beta in Canada?
Hey, we think it should have come yesterday. Like, I mean, we're hoping
hopefully
every day.
Hopefully soon. So around day 8, because I put out something every day and I try to be funny with it, right? Around day 8, I said I will donate $1 per day to a charity of someone's choice, as long as they tweet out the hashtag FSD Beta Canada, and I'll pick someone at random. And I've had 5 people said that they're going to match. So if we're up to day 24 today, I got to send out the tweet. So we're up to day 24, so we're going to multiply that out by 5. So like just shy of $100 will go out to a charity of someone's choice, right? So
cool.
Some people are like, hopefully it doesn't come anytime soon, so a charity can benefit, right? But yeah, that's what we're doing, just to have some fun with it, right? While we wait. But hopefully the next few weeks, but unlikely.
Hopefully you do get it. There is a lot of debate, yeah, like radar in that kind of condition compared to the light. Yeah. No, I hope you do get it because I think it'd be good to see. I just don't know. I mean, the engineers have their ways of organizing it all and how they keep it in a system. So
Yeah.
I had a problem with my radar. Like, that is funny you mentioned radar. I had a problem with my radar on my Model Y just a couple of weeks back, and I was tweeting rage with like, what's going on, guys? Like, my Model 3 was phenomenal in the snow and ice, and my Model Y just can't even handle the little smattering of snow. I'm like, what's going on? And I think there was some news about Tesla trying to change out their radar supplier and bring a lot of it in-house, I think. But what happened is it seems to have fixed itself with the next software update. But that 1 week when I went between software updates was nightmares because I was driving every day and I could just not navigate on autopilot. I could use standard autopilot for a while. But I guess it just, my basic thoughts were, I just think that it was not confident enough to change lanes. While it was fine keeping its own lane, I mean, the navigate on autopilot part of it was just not confident enough. And so it would just, hand back control to us. So it's, well, personally, I'm tweeting out every day to Elon and Motherfrunker because the roads outside are just white, like completely icy. So perfect test data. Perfect, like for FSD from Canada. And this is the time. And it's only going to get worse. So that's good data for the FSD neural network to handle. But I will keep doing that every day.
You want to be an FSD beta tester. You'll be
It's in my name. It's in my Twitter handle. It's hashtag FSD Beta Canada, right? From like the day we invented that hashtag. It's right there. We all want it.
Yeah.
I think Noah's gone one step further and said, I want FSD Beta Canada.
Yeah.
I've heard Elon some poutine. Just hasn't taken me up on it yet.
Anyways, guys, I think we're out of time.
All right. Yeah, that's all we got our services for. We owe 6 minutes worth of money here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kristen. Thanks, Franklin. I thank you guys for taking the time this afternoon. Signing off. And thanks, everyone who joined the chat on Twitter, on YouTube. You can catch the episode after with timestamps on YouTube. All right, signing out. Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
See ya.